Pain heals. Chicks dig scars. Glory lasts forever.
Welcome. We are going to break down from limited time in one game why Caitlin Clark is the best basketball player in the world, able to do things a lot of people say that she can't do. Hopefully y'all actually see this. I could be embarking on a complete and total waste of time because FIBA is very strict about what you can share, but I'm going to try and use a few highlights to talk about what Caitlin Clark brings to the game that makes her basically unstoppable offensively speaking. Okay, so first off, we have this Caitlin Clark. A lot of people talk about, hey, remember all the what does she bring to the game besides shooting threes? I know Kennedy Carter has gotten a lot of heat for that, but she was far from the only one. Lexi Brown would talk about it. Cheryl Swoops would talk about it. It would go on and on and on, despite lots of evidence, like maybe this right here. So Caitlin, right? Oh, okay. I want to back. Sorry about that. I'm gonna back that up. Okay, so off the dribble, boom, behind the back, switch direction, through the leg, switch direction again, drive to the right. Okay, well we're going to stop. We're going to pull back away from the defender. We've created space. We're going to step back and look where she ends up taking that shot from and makes it. Now, explain to me, folks, how you stop this when you know that where she has the ball right here is already gimme range if you give her an open look. So again, she's driving right, quick behind the back to the left, back through the legs to the right. Now she didn't just continue going right, she actually brought it back a little bit. So what you're worrying about there, of course, is the step back three, right? So you're not having to just shift defensively from right to left. You have to go forward, which of course opens you up to being blown right by again, which is what Caitlin does. So actually, this is actually great defense all the way through. Well, I mean, look at that there, right? She's got her. Caitlin, you got somebody in the corner, Caitlin. You got somebody in the corner. Um, but this is just showing you Caitlin Clark is unstoppable. It's also showing you something that, again, a lot of people say she does have one-on-one play, but also a midi game, right? We always hear about she has no mid game. She has no mid game at all. Well, yeah, yes, she does. She doesn't use it all that often, and I'm kind of hoping she starts using it more and more, but she absolutely has it. That right there, unstoppable, because that was actually really, really good defense. And of course, you knew we were going here. By the way, one thing I want to shout out, because this was a few times. Look, y'all know I try and be fair. I'm not an Angel Reese fan as a human being. I think she's got a lot of issues as a basketball player, but when something is done well, I'm going to say it. And she sets a solid pick here that gives Caitlin Clark, right? She knows she makes contact, and there it is. Like, how do you stop that? Again, to my point, you have to get up in her face because of her range. Okay. But as we saw in the previous clip, hopefully you watched it. Hopefully you got to watch it. We'll see what happens. Fingers crossed you actually see this video. A pick, because we also have, don't forget, Caitlin Clark is such a good passer. Now, as you see, no one is out there to help, right? There's no switch off that is about to happen here. Because one, if you have a switch off, you got to worry about Angel Reese. So Angel gets in there solidly, creates the space. I mean, you're done at this point, right? You're done at this point. Caitlin Clark is going to create space. She's going to step away, especially in this situation. We all know how she loves to step to her left. That boom. And that is, I believe, the play, right? That's the end of the first. We got 5 seconds now, right? So boom. I mean, again, so you combine that with the first play, makes her pretty unstoppable offensively speaking, don't you think? Now, once again, here we go. I'm going to shout out Angel Reese on a solid pick. And by the way, this is a good example of, like, for me, well, I won't get into it too much, but a Fever offense run off up tempo and Caitlin Clark, Aaliyah Boston 1-2 game, unstoppable in this league this season if they do it. But you can see the seeds of that right here. Again, solid pick from Angel Reese, right? Solid. Sorry about that. This thing gets wanky. But there's a solid pick, right? So now you've got the player who stayed back because we're worried about that, but now you've got a player chasing because it was a great pick by Angel Reese. But now you got a big having to worry about Caitlin Clark coming at you full force at the 3-point line. So you know what? We're going to give it up to Angel. Look at that. Wide open, right? Wide open, straight to the basket. Unfortunately, we got this. Didn't even hit the rim. But again, how do you stop this? You get up tempo. When you get someone, and this is what I said, you know, I hate that part about Angel's game. I'm tired of out hearing about her game because of the inability for to make layups like that. But I'm going to shout out the first part of this is that is a solid, solid pick. Caitlin has got nothing but space. And now what do you do? Right? I mean, that's wide open for Angel, but she could kick that to the corner, or you might have Sophie Cunningham or Lexi Hull if you're talking about the Indiana Fever. Again, unstoppable. You've got the midi game, which we saw off the one-on-one play with no help whatsoever, right? That was an unassisted bucket. No one set a pick. No one did anything to get Caitlin Clark open. Then you set and picks out at near midcourt, and she can create more space herself. She gets a wide open three, or you have something like this where you get the pick and roll and she's going to the basket, you know, and it's like, well, what do you do next? Right? I mean, how do you stop all of these combined? We got two more. Now, of course, we have this Caitlin Clark, the threat of running after a made bucket, right? She's right there by the end line. Paige releases, which I absolutely love. Sorry, this is blurry. It turned out that way a little bit, but you saw Paige release right away. She understands what's going on. Um, by the way, I think those two, haha, could you see in a couple of years one of them signing as a free agent to play with the other? Oh my, I'm just saying. I'm just saying. But so they're looking for that right away. Paige is going. But here's the thing: Caitlin driving the tempo and what she brings with everything else that we're talking about, you still get this, right? You still get this. So Paige recognizes, oh, okay, well, Caitlin's bringing it all the way here. We've got look at the gravity, right? Look at the gravity. Three players out there. One worried about Paige in the corner, Caitlin being high basketball IQ, Paige being high basketball IQ, and you get this backdoor easy bucket. And look, great defense. I shouldn't say easy bucket, although it turns out that way. But I mean, this great defense to collapse. But again, you have to collapse. So what does that leave? Paige goes right back out wide. Boom, jumper, bucket, good. Yet again, another aspect of Caitlin game. And remember now, you're stacking. We're stacking. All this stuff exponentially makes her that much more of a threat and that much better of a player while helping everyone else on the court as well. And I have one more. Right. So we have active hands by Paige, gets a hand on it, gets a deflection, and then guess what happens next? Really smart play. Look, where's Caitlin? Where's Caitlin? She's looking. Where's Caitlin? Oh, there's Caitlin. Giving it to Caitlin, who's already running forward. Look at the position that she is in, head up. There you have three players from Italy all going to be out of this play because, again, it is Caitlin Clark. And then we have that's insane. I'm just saying that's insane. So again, we go, if I back it up a little bit more, hopefully you can see this. We get Paige with good hands, gets the deflection. Boom. Where's Caitlin? Oh, there she is. She's going one dribble. Perfect. Yo, man, if you didn't play, I'm just saying, I'm not discounting anyone's opinion on anything. I'm just talking about an extra little bit of appreciation. That kind of accuracy on a bounce pass over that distance from midcourt, that's insane. Paige didn't need to take a dribble, folks. Hit her in stride, easy layup. So anyway, I hope someone's watching this video. I'm gonna do all this and upload it, and they're gonna be like, "No, no, you can't show these. These are ours." Um, but there you have it. In just a few plays from playing half a game, Caitlin Clark's range, her one-on-one ability and what that range does in essence. You saw in terms of how she set a player up because you had to worry about the step back, her midi game, and not just talking about making an open 15-footer, but that step back fadeaway off of that dribble completely created on her own with no help whatsoever from anyone else, right? The pick and roll play that we'll talk about with that we saw with Angel, which we know how good that can be with Aaliyah Boston, her ability in transition from a made basket to get up the court and create an opportunity. And again, shout out to Paige on that as well. For as soon as that bucket went in, she released because she knows even on a made bucket what Caitlin can do. And then the high basketball IQ to go backdoor when she wasn't open in the corner and they were overplaying it. And then again, you saw this good hands from Paige. Looking for Caitlin right away, get her going up court. Paige releases, phenomenal pass. It's just, I don't know how you stop Caitlin Clark. Anyway, I'm gonna leave it there. Hopefully you appreciated this. Hopefully you got to see it. Fingers crossed as I do the editing and get it uploaded. We shall see. Smash the like button, subscribe. Really do appreciate it. I will talk to you all later.